Now we go with Piranu. It says, I'm 21-year-old, based in Thailand. I'm currently working as a 3D environment modeler intern at the Monk Studio, and I'm preparing to apply for a full-time position. My long-term goal is to become a 3D journalist and work at a world-class studio such as ILM. Okay. I would greatly appreciate if you could share your honest thoughts on my portfolio and how I can further improve and develop my skills. Let's take a look. Okay, nice. Presentation is good. Again, I like it. Out of the gate, I am already seeing a couple of pieces that might not be the best options to have in your portfolio. For instance, this one right here. Salt, 3D short film. Yeah, so the problem with this kind of like projects is that I feel like they tend to go way too minimalistic, way too simple. Some of the models are not bad, like that crane looks interesting, but in general, I don't think it's as strong as, for instance, this piece right here. And this is also an animated short film. So this one right here, again, because of the interesting textures, because of all of the elements, definitely looks a lot more interesting. I'm guessing you did like some part of this, like you work with more people. Yeah, like this is great. This is awesome. Yeah, good stuff. I love the cardboard stuff. Again, another example of like this very interesting stylized, I don't want to say cartoonish, but yeah, that's an interesting one. Graffiti land shelters from Pinterest. One advice I'm going to give you, my friend, even if this was posted 4 years ago, always adding a description is a good way to give more information, right? So I know that this one, again, was done like 4 years ago, but if you just include some information there, that could potentially help you, again, get more. Same thing here, Bottle of Life from Pinterest. So this is interesting because it's a shading exploration stuff. On this one in particular, I would include some more breakdowns on how you approach specific shaders, because there are some interesting shaders, like this shader right here looks very interesting. The glass shader there looks interesting. So showing some networks or showing some breakdowns, that's always, again, a good idea. Yeah, this one's not great in terms of like forms and material definition. I don't love it. And I'm going to show you why with this image right here. So first of all, as you can see, there's a lot of distortion happening right here, right, with the cloth. The bump of the cloth is way too intense. I'm gonna let me show you this one, guys, because this is important. So when we are texturing anything, I want you guys to be constantly switching the channels. I want you to check what is happening on your channels. You need to see what's happening on your normal channel. You need to see what's happening on your color channel. You need to see what's happening everywhere, okay? And if you go to the normal channel, and let's say you want to add, for instance, I think I have like a scales element right here, like this one, lizard skin. Let's say I want to do a lizard skin sphere, right? So if I add this thing right here and I turn on normal, this is what's going to happen, right? And this is, again, a very common mistake. When we're texturing something, if you go to the normal map channel and it's bright as hell, right? Like it's like extremely bright. This means that the normal map is doing way too much work and it's trying to create too much surface changes, and it's going to look a little bit like wrong. So my advice is always calibrate, always go to, for instance, the technical parameters here and change, for instance, the normal intensity until you get to a position when the normal map doesn't look, again, like extremely bright. That is what is happening right here. If I were to go into the normal map of this sweater, I'm gonna see that the normal map is doing way too much work, trying too hard to really create those groups and those like normal changes so that we can see this texture. When in reality, if you want that hard of a silhouette and the hard of a detail, you actually need to model that in with geometry nodes or displacement map or something. You don't want the normal map to be doing all the heavy lifting, right? So be very careful with the calibration of your normal map. It should never look like this. Like if your normal map looks like this, something is wrong, and the shader is just gonna it's just gonna have a very hard time trying to give you a result that looks nice. Look at the difference between that and this right here. It not might seem like much, but as you can see, this looks like a nice soft detail that's pushing in the surface, when this right here looks like a very harsh, very dark, very contrasty effect that just looks fake. So again, make sure you calibrate your normal map properly. Very important thing. Could do parallax? Yeah, parallax could also work. That's right. Maldita heladera, thank you for the subscription. Muchas gracias por la suscripción, mi estimado. And Gali 1029 as well. Okay, so yeah. So going back to this Bfowl, I think you have some good pieces. I would definitely clean some of them. So take that one out. Take this guy's out. Maybe this one as well. Like, again, it's so simple. Remember, if you have something that someone could do in like 5-10 minutes, it's probably not worth adding to your portfolio. So that one I'll probably take out. This one's not bad, but what I would do for this one here, Bfowl, is really work on a nice texture pass for this, because as you can see, everything is just flat colors. And again, I can see that you did this 3 years ago. This is going back to the example that we mentioned earlier. This is one of those points where if some things from a couple years ago are not as good, like this one I like, even though it's simple, I like it a little bit more. If some of the stuff that you did back in the day is not as good, just take it out. Just take it out and start adding more of the stuff that's efficient or more up to your skills today, okay?